I'm Carol Mark. I live here in Owensboro, Kentucky, and today we're at the 100th year celebration for the Extension Office. And I'm a beekeeper, and I came to just talk to people about bees. This time of year, people are always so afraid of getting stung or getting bees or insects in their hair. So I brought this hat, and I said, if you're afraid to get insects in your hair, then you wear a hat, and you can buy a veil too if you want to keep them out. I keep bees to pollinate my husband's garden, and I sometimes get enough honey where I can sell it, and we sell our vegetables at the Owensboro Regional Farmers Market. So that's my life. I got interested in beekeeping because my husband's family had always kept bees, and the man who had kept them for years and years moved away and couldn't keep them anymore. And I was just sort of fascinated by them, and I said, well, I'll try it, just get me a suit so I don't get stung. And that was back like in 1995. And so I've been doing this I tell people I've been doing this for 1 year, 18 times. So, because every year is different. It's never the same every year. It's always different, and so you have to adjust. You have to think about how you have to work your bees, or how you have to think about the weather. The weather is a very important factor in beekeeping, as it is in gardening or any other activity. They say that every third mouthful of food that you take, it requires bee pollination. So that surprises people, that I didn't realize that they were that essential in the diet. When I first came here, I took classes. If they had an activity that seemed interesting, I would sign up and come. And then when I became a beekeeper, I suggested to my bee club that we ought to meet here. It's a really nice office here. We're able to have a kitchen. We can have meetings here and weekend meetings here. So it became a real, it's like home. For several years, I had a 4-H program to teach kids about bees. Well, the very first thing, if you want to be a beekeeper, is to find a local club like the one we have here. Our local club here is Green Valley Beekeepers Association. You need to learn. You need to get a mentor. You need to get a suit and follow along. And most people, how they end up reading about it in a magazine, like any kind of an agricultural magazine, and they'll see an article on beekeeping, and most of them will go, that's kind of interesting. I'm going to get myself a bunch of bees and I'm going to start beekeeping. That's how most people do it. And they don't have a clue about the colony, or the makeup of the colony, or the habit of the colony, or how it's, they just know there's a lot of bees in there running around. And so you need to really get in touch with a beekeeper and learn from them. Spend about a year or so just tagging along and helping to harvest and just get into the activity of beekeeping.
So what does the 100th anniversary of the Extension Office mean to you?
100 years is a long time. I'll probably never see 100 years. I'm almost 70 now, so I've seen 70 years, but I think the longevity of that program, and that it's still active and it still gives vitality to those people who are interested in I guess you'd say more earthly activities as opposed to bowling or or something like that. But I think that means a lot, and I'm hoping that people will pay more attention to the earth, recycle, look at the community and the weather, and be more mindful of how we treat the earth. So that's what it means for me. My final thoughts is I wish I had more than 24 hours in a day. I truly don't have enough time to do all the things I really like to do or want to do. So I can't imagine, and I've heard people say that, but I just can't imagine anybody just sitting there and going, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do. You know, what can I do? You know, I've got just a variety of interests, so that's my final thought. There's so much out there to learn and do that the world is just waiting at the doorstep.